Hello students, in this video we are going to see the features of planning in 4th chapter of 12th business studies, which is planning chapter. So before moving on to the features of planning, what is planning? So planning is deciding in advance what is to be done, when is to be done, how is to be done, and by whom is to be done. For example, a student wants to achieve good marks, wants to get good marks in the board exam, or he wants centum in three subjects. Then what he has to do is he has to make a plan accordingly to study his lessons meticulously. When it is to be done. So when he has to make the plan, how he has to plan it, how he has to make his schedule for the reading, how he has to make schedule for learning. So whether he is going to devote 1 day per subject or 1 hour per subject, it depends upon the discretion of the student. So when he is going to do it before 10 days of the board exam, or before 1 month before the board exam, or daily he is going to study. So when it is to be done and whom it is to be done, whom it is to be done in the sense the student has to do it. So planning is nothing but we are deciding everything, what is to be done, what we have to do it, when we have to do it, what is the optimum time to do it, when is the when we have to start the practice. So how is to be done, whom it is to be done, who has to do the planning. So planning bridges the gap from where we are standing today and where we want to reach. So planning is when you set the goals, we are going to achieve the goals in future. So planning is bridging the gap between where we are standing today and where we want to achieve in the foreseeable future. In the above example, as I said, if the student wants to get good marks in the board exam in his future, then what is his position right now, how he is in the studies right now, what are the initiatives he has to take to achieve the objective which he has set, to achieve the goal which he has set. So that is what planning bridges the gap between where we are standing today and where we want to reach. Concept of planning. So concept of planning, what is the planning concept tells us? So planning concept is nothing but we are deciding in advance the path to be followed to reach the destination or to achieve a target. So as I said in the previous example, if a student wants to get three centums in three subjects, then how he is going to achieve it, what is the path he has to follow, how he is going to plan his learning process, how he is going to read regularly and meticulously to achieve the target of getting three centums in three subjects. So planning is deciding a path to be followed to reach the destination, how we are going to reach the destination. We are making a plan to reach the destination. Every one of us is somehow busy in making plans in the daily life. For example, the student is making plans to score good marks in the exam, as I said already. A housewife is planning regarding house activities, what is to be cooked, what is to be cooked today, what the housewife has to cook tomorrow, or any other house activities. The housewife plans regarding that. A teacher plans about what is the lessons to be taught to the students. A doctor plans his activities, when is the operation is to be when is the operation is to be conducted, or what operation he has to do it. So he plans regarding his activities. The CEO of the company will plan how he is going to achieve the targets of the company. Either it is a profit maximization or sales maximization or achieving the social objective. How he is going to achieve the objective? What is a plan he has devised to achieve the objective? So CEO is busy. The CEO of the company, the chief executive officer of the company, is busy in making plans to achieve the set target of the company. So planning is nothing but deciding in advance what is the procedure or way to achieve the goals or to reach the destination. Features of planning. So planning is a managerial function. Planning is one among the functions of management. Goal oriented, we are planning to achieve the target, we are planning to achieve the objective, so it is oriented towards goal. pervasive. It is done at every level. It is done by every people in one way or other. So it is pervasive. It is existing everywhere. The planning process is existing everywhere. So it is pervasive. Continuous activity. Planning is a continuous activity. Then intellectual process. Planning is an intellectual process. Planning involves logical thinking, critical thinking. So it involves problem solving skills. So planning is always futuristic. We are planning for the future. We are planning about how to achieve the objective or set targets in the future. So it always speaks about future, so it is futuristic. Decision making, the in the planning we are deciding which is the best alternative among the which is the best option among the alternatives given, which is the best alternative to be chosen. That is what decision making. So now we are going to see the features of planning in detail. So first one, planning focuses on objective. As I said earlier, the planning is focusing on objective. So if a company wants to raise the sales, then it has to plan accordingly. If the company wants to raise the profit, then they have to reduce the cost of production. They have to make plans how to reduce the cost of production, or they have to make plans how to reduce the unwanted cost. So when we plan only, we will be able to achieve the objectives. So if they want to increase the sales target by 40 percentage next year, so what are the sales promotional measures to be taken? The management has to plan the sales promotional measures to be taken to increase the sales target to 40 percentage next year, by 40 percentage next year. So planning is focusing on objective. So, without proper planning, the organization will not be able to achieve the goals. Or, in other words, the planning has no meaning unless it contributes to the achievement of predetermined organizational goals. So, if the planning is effective, then the accomplishment of goals is easy. So, if we are not able to accomplish the goals, which means that the planning is not done in a proper manner. Planning is a primary function. Planning is a first function of management. It lay basis to all the other functions of management. It precedes the other functions of management, because when we see the functions of management are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. So all the other functions like organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, everything comes under the purview of, comes under the framework of the plans drawn. So planning precedes all the other functions of management. Planning is a first function of management. It is a primary function of management. Planning is pervasive. Planning is existent everywhere. The top level management, medium, middle level management, lower level management. Every one of us is doing planning. The top level management is taking deciding plans related to the whole organization. The middle level management is taking plans, or they are creating plans with respect to their department. The lower level management, they are focusing on the day to day activity. So planning is pervasive. Planning is existing everywhere. It is existing in the top level, middle level, and lower level, but the quantum of or the impact of planning differs. When you take the top level management planning, the top level management is planning for the whole enterprise, so the impact is more. But when you take the middle level management like departmental heads, they are planning only with respect to their department, so their impact is less when compared to the top level management. In the top level management, the impact is more, but in the medium level management, the impact is less when compared to the top level management. Planning is continuous. Planning is a continuous process. Each and every year we are planning, even though the plans are made for a specific period of time, maybe a month or a quarter or a year. At the end of the year, again we are making a new plan. So planning is a continuous process. Planning is futuristic. Always when we are planning, we are looking ahead, we are foreseeing the future, we are grasping the opportunities available in the future, and we are analyzing the threats, and we are devising strategies to overcome those threats in the future. So we are always predicting, analyzing the future. So planning is therefore regarded as a forward looking function based on forecasting. So we are analyzing, we are anticipating the future events, and based on that we are devising the plans. So planning is futuristic. Planning involves decision making. So planning concept is nothing but it involves a choice among the various alternatives. We are choosing the best one among the various alternatives. The need for planning arises only when there are alternatives. When you have alternative only, you have the need for planning. When there is no alternative, there is no other option, so they have to go as per that only. But when you have alternatives, you can weigh, you can evaluate the alternatives, you can examine the alternative, and you can understand the pros and cons of the alternative, and you can choose the most appropriate one. So planning involves deciding the most appropriate one or choosing the most appropriate one. Planning is a mental exercise. Planning requires the application of mind involving foresight. So we are foreseeing the future, and it is we are making assumptions with related to planning. So that is intelligent imagination and sound judgment. And this is an intellectual activity rather than doing. We are not just like the doing, it is an intellectual activity. And moreover, the planning requires logical and systematic thinking rather than guesswork or wishful thinking. So these are the features of planning. Hope you have understood. Thank you.